run a production company called Running Films, and we make everything from music videos to commercials to branded content to feature films to like worked with many like television stations to create content for them as well. And then yeah, so I thought I like to start from the beginning basically, so it gives you like a little insight and perspective from where I'm from. I come from like humble beginnings. Like I grew up in North Peckham, like North Peckham Estate, and then we moved over to like Aylesbury Estate. And at the time there was like kind of a lot of like violent feuds and stuff. And then we moved from there to like kind of central Peckham, where I'm sort of like based now. Like at the beginning, I would say I was just like interested in film. So like film was like something that kind of was like more of a passion. And then I kind of like grew into it, and sort of later down the line, it sort of became my profession. And now it's kind of like a chance to sort of like, you know, sort of give back, because I've sort of built up myself, and now I'm sort of really into sort of like giving back into like my community, my people, and to give like opportunities to sort of the new age filmmakers, new actors, talent, personalities, any way that I can see like a vision or pathway for. Like I like to give back, you know what I'm saying? I'll start off with like where I came from in terms of like my professional background. So I studied like film and TV and media at college and university, and through that time I was lucky enough to work with like many artists, from the likes of like Getz to Scorcher to Crazy Titch before he went to prison, to, you know, Titchy Strider, like K Coke, Sway. And then throughout my time doing promos and music videos, I've worked with everyone from like Soul Solid to Ashley Waters, Mega Man, to all the way to recently Dino, who's like a young, I wouldn't even say up and coming now, but established young musician who's already had like a top 10 hit, and currently he has a top 30 hit in the charts this week. So throughout my career I was lucky enough to work with like a lot of talent, and I still continue to work with a lot of like musicians, and you know, it's kind of like, it's like a gradual thing of like sort of building within that industry, where I call it like the music entertainment industry. So now I'm sort of like do that, but I've also been fortunate enough to create my own content, which is like everything from like short films to like Thinking Out Loud to Wasteman Diaries, which we marketed ourselves to become a viral short film online, all the way to building up to the Weekend movie, which we released in 2017. And we did our first worldwide deal with Netflix, which is a major platform, which, you know, many of you probably know from watching everything from Stranger Things to Ozark to The Last Dance to like many like famous shows, even the latest Top Boy. And now recently we released this year a project called The Re-Up, which you might have seen, starring a few guys from Top Boy, Hollyoaks, Dino was in it, and then we've got some new stars that are going to be in it, that you might know, like some up and coming sort of drill rappers that are kind of killing the music scene at the moment. But like David was saying before, there'll be opportunities as well to be in these productions coming up, to work either with myself behind the camera or in front of the camera, to being like featured extras, to actually acting as extras on screen. And then there'll be opportunities to sort of learn your craft. Like some lucky sort of students, I would like to sort of put with some acting coaches as well, and also maybe train them in sort of some courses that me and Dave will be running alongside very soon, in the next 3 to 4 weeks to the next 6 weeks. So yeah, going back, sorry, I sort of like fast forward there. It was kind of like doing like a lot of these projects. What kind of like stood out for me was, you know, it's very easy to sort of come across like these opportunities and sort of not take them, which I've seen from like a lot of young people in the past. And I always say, like, if you have like an opportunity, you should also grab it. You know, there's a lot to say for like people like the Michael Wards, which was a product from Inside Success as well, who was fortunate to grab his opportunity, and he is like a very grafting individual who's like done many things and continues to work quite courageously through the industry. But also there's like other young stars, such as I even call that actually kind of a young star, because he's kind of been doing it from like the ages of like 14 to 15, but he's been consistent because he's grafted, and it took him like nearly 10 to 15 years to grab his, like, I guess his biggest opportunity, which I believe was Top Boy. So once you get into grabbing these opportunities, I always say, if you're really interested in it, I would say always try and master your craft, because there's no such thing as like kind of getting a golden egg and then just like running with it. You've got these guys, say like Ashley Waters and these Noel Clarks and sort of others, they still go and they train courageously by themselves, and they always kind of train and harness their skills in front of the camera. So I always say that's like one piece of advice I would like to give you guys as well. If you do grab these opportunities, I would say you should also harness your craft in front of the camera and also behind the camera. So like, yeah, I would jot that one down. Like moving forward, I would like to sort of like go like rewind a little bit and talk to you a bit about sort of my past and how I sort of got into the industry, like from studying like film, television and entertainment. So once I was like at university, I sort of took my opportunity where they had cameras, and I was like using the free cameras to shoot music videos, and also shoot some like little promo short clips, which gave me like 2 steps ahead of a lot of people who was trying to break in the industry, because I was already like making my own content. And lucky enough for me, I guess like the gangster hip hop scene, like in my area, people like Gigs and other artists around our area in South London were sort of popping off. So we again sort of saw our opportunity and we grabbed it, and we saw like other kind of commercial opportunities. At the time, we didn't realize what we were doing, but we were kind of creating a scene and creating a foundation for what we see now in terms of the like black music scene. So like that's what I started from, and then I always knew what my end goal was going to be. My end goal was always going to be to create feature films, to create black series, to create comedy shows, to create comedy live shows. That was always going to be my end goal, but I knew it was a means to end. So I was doing these music videos and these commercials, which I was lucky enough to do from like a very young age, to sort of build myself up to do these other bigger projects. And it also gave me the skill set and the know-how to sort of command a crew, but also to sort of build my confidence up maybe, and sort of build my knowledge into how to release product. So that was like one of the things that I learned from doing these music videos from a young age, to sort of building my end goal, which was sort of doing feature films and doing bigger projects that will get broadcast worldwide, which I sort of listed before. So that's another kind of round circle piece of advice, is kind of like, when you step into grabbing these opportunities, try and think of like an end goal for yourself in terms of like, okay, say I'm going to grab an opportunity with Sheridan and David and Darren to be an actor or an extra. What is my end goal with doing this? Who do I want to be? Who do I want? What kind of roles do I want to act in? What kind of person do I want to be perceived in terms of maybe a personality, maybe like a celebrity? Like think big, think like huge. Think like, okay, I want to be a Will Smith, or I want to be a Ashley Waters, or I want to be a Michael Ward, or I want to be a Denzel Washington, or I want to be a Samuel L. Jackson. Like think, okay, if I'm going to step into this realm of entertainment, what is going to be my end goal? And that could also go for if people are interested in doing music, or if people are interested in making beats, or if people are like interested in, you know, being behind the camera, what is going to be my end goal if I grab these opportunities to step into this realm of entertainment? Always have that in the back of your mind, and you'll always win, because you're always going to be fighting, but you're also always going to be building yourself up into something that you're going to be ready for. But if you haven't got that vision, or you haven't got that end goal, you will not have that ability to be ready for that. So build yourself up to be ready for the opportunity and for your end goals. So I always suggest, you're stepping into these opportunities, have an end goal of what you want to do and where you want to go. So going back again, rewinding from like music videos, when I was doing it independently, what was good and what I knew is like I could be seen as a commercial commodity to sort of bigger companies. So once I started shooting these music videos, I got signed to direct, and I got management to represent me worldwide. And that gave me opportunities to travel and to work with bigger artists, people from the likes of Drake to Rick Ross to Popcorn to you know, Pharoah Monch, to people like Lucy Liu, working with established actors such as Idris Elba, and yeah, the list goes on. But it gave me an opportunity to sort of travel and build up my worldwide network, and also my my knowledge in terms of like dealing with sort of like bigger talent. And that was indispensable from like quite a young age, and it built me up into sort of having the confidence to like work with bigger artists when we were kind of doing our own projects. So yeah, so going from being an independent person onto sort of working with a commercial company, that gave me an opportunity. So that goes into like my fourth point, which is like, you know, once you sort of build yourself up, once we give you these opportunities, you will have like something that's called a reel. Some of you might have that already. I know I've worked with other members of Inside Success who have gone on to like do a lot more projects and being able to act in other projects from grabbing these opportunities, which is like amazing. But now they've got a reel, and now they can go on to the next level, which is get representation and sort of get put out into the commercial market. So that will be another thing that will lead. So always think to yourself, like this is my fourth like piece of advice, going back from what we're talking about, is like think of everything into stages, into like stepping stones into going onto your final goal, that which I was talking to you about before. So yeah, so from that, I'm just going from like my career really, and sort of like how it all worked out for me. So once I was doing more commercial things, which the irony of it is like I wanted my independence back. So once I was in this world where I was in a commercial situation and I was represented, I wanted my independence because I wanted ownership as well, which I saw as like a very important thing to build myself as a filmmaker. So that's why I created Running Films. And then Running Films was like something that, you know, it's like it gave me the power to sort of cast who I wanted to cast, to hire who I wanted to hire, and to sort of position myself where I wanted to position myself. So in terms of like, I could do my own independent deals with a Netflix. I could do my own independent deals with an Amazon. I could do my own independent deals with all of these companies, which was an amazing thing, because it gave us the power to sort of, you know, create a more inclusive and more diverse, I guess, you know, films and television shows and stuff. So yeah, that was like also like a plus. So what I could do is I could show you like a couple of things that I have done, if you haven't seen them before, but I'll just share my screen. Give me 2 seconds.